Hello everybody, welcome back. Today, as you can see out here, we are shooting waterfalls again. This is Trentham Falls outside of Daylesford in Victoria. I've been here once before, probably close to a year and a half, 2 years ago now. I was planning on getting right down to the base of the waterfall, but behind you guys there is a barrier and a sign that says Trentham Falls warning, serious injuries have occurred, unstable cliffs, rock may fall, no access past this point. So I won't be getting any closer than we are now. So we're just going to be shooting from up at this viewing lookout today, which is okay because I think there's still a few shots to be had. And then after we wrap up here, I'm going to be heading to another waterfall later this afternoon called Sailors Falls, which is about 20 minutes or so down the road. And hopefully that one will be able to get down to the base of the falls and get a few shots from that kind of perspective. So yeah, I've got the whole place to myself too, which is a bonus. Going to get the camera out and we'll see what we can find. Let's do it. So the first thing that sort of jumped out at me for a composition is down the trail I found this spot where there's these two old mossy trees that are kind of really framing the waterfall. So I think it might be something I can get here and use those to really sort of frame the waterfall as a subject and also give me a bit of foreground interest. And then I'm just going to make sure I'm not getting any of this fence in the way because that sort of distracts a little bit and gives it sort of a man-made feel, which I want to be I want to make this look a lot more remote and naturey than it really is. And then I'm going to use my filters. So we're going to get a polarizer out and screw that guy straight on. It's quite a dark, gloomy day at the moment. The sun's sort of coming in and out every now and then, but not too much. It's also my first time doing landscapes on this camera, by the way. My Nikon Z6ii. I'll probably talk more about it in another video, but loving it so far. And then I'm just going to do a few test shots and mess around with things. If I want to get the trees in focus as well as the waterfall, I'll probably have the focus stack, which I might give that a go as well. So I'm just going to try doing two different shots, one focus on the trees, one focus on the waterfall. And then I can blend those together, but it might look good too, just having the trees out of focus and the waterfall being really the main subject. So f18, 1 1/3 of a second. Someone is walking up right now, so I'm going to turn the camera off. ISO 100 and a focus stack. Struggling today. So about the only thing I can find that sort of maybe going to work is just up here. We've got a lot of old fallen logs and cut down trees, I guess from wind damage from storms over the past few months. I think they might be something as a bit of foreground. So I'm going to have a go at that. Getting my head around this new camera is also not making things easy. This is literally the first day I've taken it out to do any landscape type stuff. I've used it for other work already, so I'm okay with the controls. It's just that using it for landscape is kind of a different ballgame. Alright, I'm not super keen with these, but we'll give it a go. Just focusing on these trees and grasses down the bottom of the frame, waterfall right in the middle, and then some of the trees on the other side of the fall, making up the back of the frame. So 1/13 of a second, f8 we're doing, ISO 100. Let's give that a go. So it's probably going to be a wrap on Trentham Falls. Yeah, I would have loved to get down a bit closer to the waterfall, but what can you do? So I'm going to pack up, get in the car, and we'll head over to Sailors Falls. Here we are, Sailors Falls. Obviously not as much water flowing at this one as opposed to Trentham Falls, but that's okay, kind of to be expected because it's a smaller creek that feeds this one, so it is what it is. What's cool though is it looks like I can get pretty close down to the base. It's really rocky and slick down there, so we'll see how close I can get and what sort of shot I can get. But I think I should be able to get something all right. Last time I was here, I'll throw the shot up. We actually had both streams flowing pretty aggressively but today it's sort of mostly just that one on the left. That other photo too was at sunset, so a bit more golden light happening. Today it's pretty, still gloomy and grey, but that's okay. So obviously I don't have a great deal of access here without getting over there where it's sort of really sketchy. And because I'm still using the new camera, I'm still in the process of getting my confidence up with it and doing more sketchy things with it. So I'm going to be pretty safe today and probably just stay here. I've got a little bit of dry ground at my feet and see if I can line something up from this little space I've got just here, which is very uneven. I do have a spot to put my bag though, so that's cool. So with this camera so far, the only lens I have is a 24-70, which 24 I think might be a little too narrow to get a lot of this stuff in. So what I'm going to do is do a vertical panoramic where I'm still going to have a vertical composition or a portrait composition, but I'm going to shoot a few different photos in horizontal on the camera and then blend those together in Photoshop later. It's a really sort of sharp angle, these waterfalls, and with how tall I are, from this perspective, it's really tricky to get everything in, even with the wide angle lens. So basically I'm going to tilt my camera horizontally, loosen the ball head, drop it, and then just pan up and sort of think about it as if I was getting one big vertical shot, but just making it up with a few different horizontal ones. Basically a sideways version of a normal panoramic. Now, just like with any panoramic, you want to make sure your tripod is nice and as level as possible. If you have sort of anything that's a bit off or a bit wonky, your software can struggle to merge it later, which is always super annoying. I'm just going to show you guys roughly on this camera. So I'm going to start right at the bottom here on these rocks and this little stream happening just down here, and then just slowly pan up to about the top of the fall. This will probably take a few photos to do it in, which is okay, because that's, the more photos it is, really the better it is, the more I can blend. But it's just a matter of making sure I line up pretty thoroughly and making sure they all blend together all right. With these, it's better to shoot more than you actually need. It's better to have too much than too little when you go to blend them. Another thing I'm going to do is just set my focus to a nice wide area. And then I'm going to shoot f8, which for each individual shot should get a decent range of focus. And then just going to put my polarizer on before I start. Spin that, because on the surfaces of these rocks you do get a lot of glare, especially this time of day where it is an overcast day.
You might have noticed the fear in my eyes just here. What happened is I turned around after talking for a while to realise there was a lady standing right next to my camera. At the time I was mid-sentence about to say something about my polarizer, but trailed off to say something completely not related.
But I'm getting a lot of front to back focus.
Anyway, she stayed there for about 5 minutes taking photos of the waterfall, and I completely ignored the fact that she was there and just kept on shooting until she left, and I was able to finally finish my piece to camera.
Alright, I think that should be good. Just turned around and there was someone standing right behind where you guys are on that camera, so that was awkward. Anyway, here's the photo. So I was sort of in pack up and head back to the car mode. But I noticed these cool old dead golden ferns sort of sitting in piles of more lush green ferns, and I thought it'd be a really cool foreground with those browns sort of complementing the browns in the rocks beside the waterfall. So all I've done is lined up one single vertical shot where I've got those ferns right on my bottom right third, and then the waterfall up on the top left third, which gives a lot of good balance between the bottom right and the top left, sort of leaning up diagonally that way. I'm also underexposing the shot a fair bit to make those greens really dark and gloomy and make those golden browns pop up against them. So I'm shooting at f16 to get me a good front to back focus, hopefully in one shot. 2 seconds, minimum ISO. Take the shot and let's see how that looks. Alright everybody, well, I think from there that's going to be about me done for the day. It is getting pretty late. The weather looks like it's about to turn, and I've got about an hour and a half ride home in the car, so gonna jump in the car and start doing that. Hopefully the photos turned out alright and you guys got something out of this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of everything, the photos, the video, all that would be nice. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you as always, and see you soon.